Hi guys, I'm back. I realised it's been a while since my last video, but I thought I would pop on here and say hello, and also I've decided to start a new collection. I know loads of people collect stamps and things, but because they're so tiny it wouldn't really be worth it for me. However, I had an email from the Royal Mail the other day out of the blue. I don't know why they emailed me, announcing that they had this stamp set coming out, the Roald Dahl ones, BFG and Matilda and stuff. I thought, oh, I'd go and have a look and see that, it might be worth it. And when I went down to see the different versions you could get, they actually had postcard size versions of the same print. So I thought that might be worth collecting. I would still get the fun out of seeing things and a bit of history in my hand, but actually postcard size so that I could actually see the images. So I obviously got the Roald Dahl ones because that was a big memory growing up, and I also picked up a couple more sets, so I'm going to open these up and show you what I get inside them. So here they are. I've got them out of the packet now, and there's actually quite a few, so I couldn't lay them out on the desk to show you, so I'm just going to pick them up individually. This is like the first card. It just shows you a few of the ones that are in there. Put that to the side, and these are actually proper postcard sized pieces of card, Royal Mail and stuff. So this is the first one. And oops. A second. This one goes this way. That's probably one of my favourites of this series. And that one. I think the BFG was one of my favourite books when I was a child, so these pictures have fond memories. Oh, that was upside down, sorry. This book has, you know, these pictures of fond memories. So, and this isn't the BFG, this is Matilda. Standing on a pile of books. James and the Giant Peach. Looks more like a pumpkin than a peach, but two. Fantastic Mr. Fox. He does look very mischievous there. And the last one in this series, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I actually prefer the original 60s film than the newer one. This is probably my second favourite pack, although I'm quite fond of this one. I don't know, this might be my favourite over the BFG ones actually. So for you Terry Pratchett Discworld fans out there, here is, well, I say Rincewind, but I know a couple of people that say Rincewind. It just doesn't sound right to me, so. But if you're a fan of the Discworld books, you'll know who that is. And then this scary lady, Nanny Ogg, I think it says. Harry Potter fans out there, Dumbledore. And he who must not be named, also in Harry Potter. Merlin with his beard. The weirdest depiction of Morgan Le Fay I have ever seen. But there you go. Narnia fans, Aslan the Lion. And finally, the White Witch, also from Narnia. So this is the Diamond Jubilee edition that came out a while ago. The front one just gives you a picture of a few that are in there. So here's the first one of the Diamond Jubilee edition. I think they're basically similar photos, just in different colour tones and different postage amounts. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking. I'm trying to do this one-handed on the iPad because I couldn't find my tripod for my other camera. I'm not sure if I like that one over the silver one, or think I prefer the silver one over that one actually. And that was the last one. These are the last 2 packs I picked up. I don't know if there are any, I'm wondering if there are any more in the series that I just haven't seen yet. But I got the Hanoverians because we did a lot about Victoria, Queen Victoria in history, and she's just interesting to me. And then I also obviously got the Windsors because that's more of our timeline. So I will do the Hanoverians first and then the Windsors. So again, the first one just shows you sort of like highlights of the card series. And I think a lot of them will be portraits, so they'll be this way. So this guy is George I, and he was king from 1714 to 1727. And he has some crazy hair going on there. And then we had King George II from 1727 to 1760, also with weird hair. And I'm surprised at how fat these people are actually, but I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by that. Followed by King George III, 1760 to 1820. His hair isn't that bad, but it's still bad. Followed by King George IV, who I think actually looks more normal, with normal coloured hair without the white wigs, and he reigned from 1820 to 1830. And then we have William IV from 1830 to 1837. And then we start to see uniforms. Oh, and then we've got Queen Victoria from 1837 to 1901. Looking very, I don't like you kind of face. I don't want to be here. Why are you taking my picture? And then we have Robert Walpole, 1721, the first Prime Minister. Very scary. I don't think I would trust him. Looks like he enjoys his meat too much and drink, possibly. And this is Kedleston Hall in 1763. It's very opulent and gold. And then we have 1840 uniform postage, penny black. And then finally, in the end of her days, Queen Victoria, 1897 Diamond Jubilee. And finally onto the Windsor pack, which is of a different colour. Again we have the highlights. Oh, and a bit of the timeline. I don't know if that was on the other one, I couldn't really see it. So the first one, if I can pick it up, is of the Scotch Expedition 1912 South Pole. And it's obviously a black and white photo with 5 people there dressed up in cold weather gear. And the next one, the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, the home front. Football champions, 1966, England wins. And apparently they played with orange footballs. But I obviously wasn't there, so I don't know. In 1994, Nations Are United, or Linked, Channel Tunnel. So there's a picture of 2 guys in the Channel Tunnel, one standing below an England flag, or the Union Jack flag, and another guy standing under the French flag, shaking hands. And then Queen Elizabeth II in 1952. Apparently that's worth £1.10p. Oops. And George VI, 1936 to 1952. Looks like a very scary guy. Edward VIII, 1936. And here's the uniform. George V, 1910 to 1936. Nice moustache going on there. And Edward the 7th, 1901 to 1910. Looking kind of like Henry VIII to me, but whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll put some pictures and more info and prices on my blog, so check it out. See you next time. Bye!